Hello, I'm Derek Mitchell from SIMMPLE, and this is the third in my series around measuring learning impact. I've already shared that any post-learning survey need only contain 3 questions in order to carry out sentiment analysis, identify specifically what worked well and what worked not so well for different groups of learners, how effective knowledge transfer was, and why this was the case. The key thing is consistency, asking the same 3 questions every time. Okay, so this gives us all the experiential and confidence measures, but what about business impact? In a corporate training environment, the primary focus from any development function should be improving performance. Now, I often hear it said that 80% of what we deliver relates to soft skills and these can't be measured. Outside of regulatory compliance activity, if your work can't be measured, why on earth are you doing it? Soft skill training absolutely can be measured. Now, it might take longer to get a good sample size of learners to track the measures, but whether you're trying to improve managers' conversation skills to manage poor behaviour or help people form cross-functional connections, you should be able to see a difference between those who have received your training and those who have not. Now, this could be through reduced attrition or reduced absenteeism, increased pulse scores, increase in cross-functional projects. But look, if you don't know what dial you're trying to move, then why are you costing your business money by taking people away from their jobs to talk to them about something? Yes, of course, it's wonderful if we can drive performance whilst also increasing staff engagement and well-being, but if your learning activity is making people happy with no demonstrable shift in performance, which is attributable to your activity, your employer would probably do well to remove the L&D function completely and invest those savings in croissants and Pong machines. Okay, so how do we tie KPIs to learning events? I've observed many L&D functions struggle with this, and the common barrier is data. It's knowing what to ask for and knowing what to do with it. L&D functions can struggle to get useful data from any BI or MI function. I've seen L&D functions put 30 learners through a course and then raise a request to their BI or MI function asking for certain performance metrics for these people for an arbitrary period of time. Now, by the time they get the data, the world's moved on, and even if they do undertake analysis on that data, it simply shows that performance went up, or it went down, or it stayed the same. Now, of course, if it went up, that was down to L&D, right? And if it went down, well, that was the weather, or someone somewhere else dropped the ball, or maybe we should just keep quiet about it. Here the key thing is, when looking at KPIs, is that you don't limit your data to only your learners, and you don't limit your time period to only the specific learning that you're looking at. Now, why do I say this? The biggest failing for any L&D function when asking for data is that they don't know what to ask for. Now, I came into L&D from a measurement background, and I know how prioritisation of data works. If you raise a request into your MI function for, let's say, telephone handling time for 30 people you trained in a contact centre, you're going to be competing with information requests from marketing and operations, both areas which can actually prove their value to the business. Your request's likely to be at the bottom of a pile, and once, if you get your data, it may be of no use to you, as you will have an aggregated view of handling time for the people, which is what you asked for. Think about it this way. If your company's been working on a new product for the past 2 months, and you've been training your teams on how to talk to your customers so that you can upsell it, once the product launches and you can see that your teams are selling the product, let's say at a conversion rate of 3%, can L&D state that this conversion rate is down to them as opposed to, say, the above-the-line marketing campaign or consumer appetite or even just the weather? How much of this conversion is actually down to you? A metric moving up post-training is not proof that you've done a good job. If you have a view of all the KPIs for all of your people, you can compare those who received training with those who didn't. If those who didn't receive training also have an uplift in conversion of 3%, then your training didn't actually deliver anything. If the uplift in conversion from those who you didn't train was 2%, then you can claim that 1% of the conversion increase was down to you. Now, statistical purists might take issue with this, but comparing your trainees against a control is likely more than you do now. So what should you be asking your MI function for? 1 Excel list. Updated weekly with the numerator and the denominator for the 5 most important KPIs in your business. The user ID and the date the performance was captured. This should also be for a rolling 12 months. I say this because if you get this information from your MI function, you'll never need to raise another request into them. This format will also allow you to automatically link your business performance to your learners and the time of their learning for everything. From this point, you can automate the reporting of performance pre and post learning for every single learning event. Further, as you haven't limited your data to only your learners, you have natural control groups against which to compare any shift in performance. Linking this data to your learner experiential feedback and confidence data through learner ID, staff number or whatever will allow you to very quickly understand how performance is affected by sentiment or confidence. It will tell you which descriptive words being used by your learners lead to the greatest benefit, to the greatest business impact. It will tell you whether confidence matters. Now, if you tie this in with employee demographic information joined by user ID, you can split out the effectiveness of, say, e-learning with classroom learning by age, tenure, business area, whatever. And you need only build this model once. Built correctly, this will automatically refresh itself as you upload the latest week's feedback and performance file. The SIMMPLE model allows you to be able to present every course with experiential data, confidence data, performance movement, and any controlled trials you might run on one single dashboard, such as that shown on the screen here, whether that be built in Excel, Tableau, or Power BI. There's more examples of what this can look like on my LinkedIn page in an article titled The SIMMPLE Model for Evaluating Corporate Learning. And this also contains a link to the dashboard you can see on your screen where you can click on stuff and see what happens. So, hopefully I've given you enough to go off and kick some evaluation ass, but this is not about gradually evolving your L&D evaluation methodology, but about making an immediate step change to your organisation's capability and to get you a seat at the top table. If you're still intimidated by anything I've covered, or you're not sure how to speak with your data function to get exactly what you need, or you want someone in your L&D function to get some training on dashboard design and building specifically with a focus on L&D, I'm of course happy to work with your organisation to get your new evaluation process up and running. I hope this series has been useful to you. Please share it as widely as you can and feel free to let me know about how easy or otherwise it's been for you to implement. Thank you.